Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit Zappy here, back again with My Hero Academia, and actually, you know what? Let's harken back to the days of Season 2, Episode 10, shall we? Bish, bash, bosh. Oh, yes, Gero wig. Nice. Okay, right, now I'm ready. Fucking hell, man. Such an idiot. Alright, okay, so. Episode 22. Fucking hell, I can't believe I'm about to do this. Oh my god, we waited all week. Okay, so. Right. We had the whole the provisional license thing come to an end. It turns out Inasa, Todoroki, and Bakugo all failed, so they didn't get their provisional license. However, they're going to have like a 3-month sort of course, intensity course thing, fucking, you know, which is individualized. So if they pass that, then they can, you know, they can get their license. So hopefully they do end up showing that. Eventually, Kami was actually Toga or Toga was Kami in disguise. Or no, Kami was Toga in disguise. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm just so fucking hyped up. I can't contain. Yeah, so she uses obviously the blood of people to transform into them, which fucking, of course I should have figured that out. Should have. We'll have the whole thing with All Might and All for One. All for One seemingly knowing that he is going to get out at some point, which, you know, I reckon will happen. Hopefully Sting comes out at the same time. And yeah, finally we're gonna get fucking Deku and Bakugo again. Oh my god, this one is gonna be fucking. This is gonna be top tier. Like this one's gonna be way above and beyond fucking episode 7. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, man. Okay, right. I don't think it's anything else to really talk about. I think we'll just get into this, right? You know, I have some fucking earphones here, but honestly, just putting them around, like... If I was to put these on... Put them, like, around the ears. Yeah. You can barely fucking see them anyway, man. Pointless. Because I can't come forward enough. I guess it's it can do. It'll do. Alright. This is so, holy fuck. Okay. This is like a lot more hair than the other wig. A lot more. But it's cool. It's fun. Okay. Yeah. Gero hair. Okay. Right. Oh, you've got to be joking. Look, there's like a line here. Oh, I can't be doing with that. Alright, okay. I think we're ready to go. Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything, because I feel like I'm so hyped up that I don't want to forget stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so let's go. Episode 23. Okay, fucking, oh man. Alright, I wrote down everything that I could remember. If I missed something, I apologize. Okay. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that was so great. I'm gonna have to get rid of these fucking I'm just annoying. Everything's fucking tickling me right now. I love Bakugo. I love his character like so much, and it's not like news to anybody. Except for people that may be like watching this, whatever, for like the first time. And he's been my favourite character ever since episode 8 of season 1. And there was a lot of there was so many like sort of callbacks to that episode. Well, not episode 8, but episode 7 when they fought the first time. And yeah, I just want to get us out of the way. Like, have you seen the difference? Have you seen the difference from the season 1 fight to this one? It's actually mental how much better it's got. It's so great. Just the animation and art style, it just feels so much more like. It feels like it's just more detail. It's more full. it's more impactful. It just looks like 10 times better. It's so great. But you know, I think, I mean, I feel like I keep explaining this every time I mention Bakugo, but like the thing is with a lot of people is they see the front and they see the overly exerted, like the guy who's like a psychopath who's always screaming. He has nothing about him, but he has them. To me, he has so much that just isn't in clear view that you need to look for. And that was clearly obvious with the whole Bakugo being feeling like he was responsible for All Might losing his power, because if he hadn't got caught in the first place, then there wouldn't have been the All Might All for One fight, which inevitably All Might used up all of his power. And the fact that, like, you know, that he looks up to All Might is just as much as Deku does, you know what I mean? It's just not shown. You know? I've always felt like Bakugo's been like the, you know, like, obviously looking at things from Deku's perspective and whatnot. But Bakugo has, like, just as much relevancy to the story as Deku does. You're just not showing it all from Bakugo's perspective. That's the thing. You're always seeing it from Deku's. So I love the fact that, you know, Bakugo is the one that ended up feeling responsible for All Might, and for that he just needed to get out like all of his pent up sort of frustration, anger, and whatnot. At the same time, having a fight with Deku, who he knows that All Might passed the power down to, and the fact that they were able to go all. I mean, I'm not even sure they were able. Like they didn't. I don't think they went all out. Because, you know, if they did, then Deku would, you know, use 100%. But but then again, he'd you know, if he hit him perfect, he'd probably kill him with it. So they probably went all out as much as they could with the power that they had. I love the fact that, like, sort of that, you know, Bakugo, because he looks up to All Might so much, that he basically sees the power that All Might had. You know, he puts that on the same level as what All Might is as a whole. So the fact that, you know, Deku with All Might's power still can't beat Bakugo, it's quite crazy, because you see Bakugo going up against, you know, the one thing that he admires most, and he can overcome it, which is something that, you know, it's a strange one for Bakugo, because Bakugo has always been the one to be like, right, I want to be on top and I want to see you go all out, you know, and I want to win with my own power. But even at the end of that fight, he was so pissed off at the fact that he won, even though Deku has All Might's quirk. It's like, you know, Bakugo has to be the one to, you know, to what's the fucking word? He has to be the one to, you know, understand that, you know, he was the one that wasn't given, you know, the All Might's power, right? He wasn't the one that inherited it, and he has to live with that. And Bakugo knowing that, you know, if he was the one to have had All Might's quirk given to him, that he would, you know, do everything that he could to be able to beat anybody. Now, of course, Bakugo not knowing the the extent of what Deku can use because of his body and whatnot. Now that being said, I mean, if Bakugo was to inherit it, like, I feel like Bakugo's body would have been all right as soon as he inherited it. So Bakugo would have had like so much more time with it. You know, I don't even know like at what point if Deku has ever gotten to a point where like his body is as good as Bakugo's, or like more, you know, able to contain more. Considering Bakugo's had his power for so long, and it's incredibly like, you know, it's incredibly impactful quirk, you know. So I don't know, but yeah, I mean, this fight has changed the dynamic. I don't think, obviously, you're going to keep saying Bakugo go at Deku like a lot, screaming at him, but at this point, it's not clear hatred. Like it's not just, you know, pure hate in that regard. You'll still get pissed off at him, but for this, like, from now on, it's, you know, it will be because he's not trying hard enough, as opposed to, you know, he seems to be doing too well, kind of thing. I feel like the better Deku gets, or the more he shows that he's actually getting better, I feel like Bakugo won't feel the need to sort of pipe up to him. So, you know, I like the fact that there's still a reason why Bakugo can be Bakugo, that we all know, to Deku, but it's for an entirely different reason now. So I like that. And the fact that he's, you know, Bakugo sort of, by knowing this whole thing of Deku having one for all, Bakugo knows the importance of that power, so he's willing to give advice to Deku, like, you know what I mean, like, you're still predictable and everything like that, and I love that. A lot of because Bakugo is so like overzealous about everything. I love the times when he seems so calm and collected. You know, because it's so like, that's the advantage of being someone who's like abrasive, like over the top, in their like emotions. Because the fact that, you know, they do that so much, it makes it a hell of a lot more impactful when they do something that, you know, that you don't expect. And that was one of my clear reasonings for why Bakugo to me is like my favorite character, is because, you know, he is not the atypical like hero that goes to Deku. You know, Bakugo's not the kind of person who sort of stands for those, you know what I mean? He's not like a Captain America or anything like that. He is he's, you know, he sort of has this personality of a kind of anti-hero, you know what I mean? And I think when you see him do the good things, that makes it more impactful. That is the reason why people love like anti-heroes generally more than superheroes, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the time people are so like, you know, people love heroes, you know what I mean? The people like love, like, you know, Iron Man, Captain America and shit like that. But, you know, they don't have as like sort of like a religiously cult following like a Deadpool has or a Venom has, you know what I mean? Like some, like a character that has that sort of edge to them that makes them a lot more intriguing, because, you know, the whole like righteous and mighty like hero, whilst, you know what I mean, while they are likable and you can love them, they don't have that edge to them, that like, more often than not, it's sort of like their origin story, whether they were a villain at one point and then they turned over to a hero, or, you know, they're just, the way they do things just isn't that atypical hero mentality. And you know, Bakugo sort of embodies that role, you know what I mean? And honestly, I was laughing when everyone, like, you know, when I when I'm like going through season 1 and shit, and like, you know, people, like, you know, you see people saying, like, I don't know, like other reactors that are reacting to the show, and they're saying like, oh, he's definitely gonna become a villain, him, like, he's, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there laughing because I know for a fact that that's not Bakugo, and I knew that, and I said that before he got taken away to the League of Villains. You know what I mean? They were going to persuade him to try and become a villain, and I was like, no, like, I am 100% sure that Bakugo will not become a villain, because like everything that he has done from the very beginning of the show, you know, aside from the fact that yes, he's a bully and he does, you know, he's a dick, you know what I mean, for the most part, he never showed signs of becoming a villain, because everything that he did was to become the #1 hero. Now, out of everybody in the show, nobody has a desire, like, nobody has a desire more than Bakugo to, like, be the #1 hero. And the important key word there is hero, the #1 hero. He doesn't become the #1 villain. He wants to become the #1 hero. He doesn't even say, I just want to be #1. He specifically says he wants to become the #1 hero. That is the, you know, like, and that's the things, like, you know, that just goes along with the fact that I think people just put Bakugo in a box because of how his personality is, and judging him based upon that, and they don't seek to look further beyond it. So yeah, I honestly, fucking Bakugo, favorite character from the bottom of my heart, for those of you that didn't even know already. But yeah, All Might said that these two are like true rivals now, and I definitely feel that, because now it's, you know, whereas before it was more like Deku following Bakugo, right? And Bakugo thinking Deku was below him, whereas now they're on like a level playing field. You know, even at Deku's power, Bakugo's still able to overcome him, which means that this is sort of it's like a reset now, which means that they're basically at ground zero, pun intended. For those of you who don't know, that is, well, that's what people think Bakugo's, you know, it's a theory for Bakugo's hero name is Ground Zero, which I quite like, to be fair. But yeah, they're sort of like at a level now where they can start and, like, you know, be better than each other. You know, competition is what, you know, helps people become better, you know what I mean? If you want to be better at something, right, do things alongside the people who are better at it than you, you know what I mean? If you have somebody who's always trying, like, if you're trying to be better than somebody, right, and you focus on that goal, you're only going to get better from there, because you're always trying to, there's always a sort of a goal in mind, a competition, and it's healthy competition, which is always good. So that's awesome. Fucking Bakugo's moves in that fight, like, I don't know which one he did where he was like, I can't even, I'm gonna have to try and see if I can, like, find it again, because there was one where he's like, no, it's not that one. It's the, like, come on, he like hits, I'm pretty sure he like hits Deku up into the air, and then he shouts something, and yeah, it's that one, right? I'm sure it's this one.
That was close. Can't let him think.
Yeah, that one. I think he does. He spin himself? Is that what he's doing? Yeah. So it's like a sort of a fire wheel. So obviously when he does the howitzer impact thing, he spins himself, but he spins himself like, I don't even know how do you describe, like that. I can't, fucking hell. Yeah, but essentially spins himself on a dime like that, whereas this fire wheel thing's more like a sort of a cartwheel type thing, where he does the same sort of, it's the same momentum, probably with the same like sort of the same like hand motions to obviously propel him around like a wheel, but instead of being turned on a sort of on a pivot, he's sort of like moving his whole body around. So that's what that is. That's pretty cool. I did want to go back and actually look at that, because I didn't actually like understand when I first watched it, like what he's actually doing there. And I love the end one as well. The fact that when Deku punched him, I guess it was with a 5%, right? That Batgirl like held on to him, and then had his hand up in the air and blasted the air, so it propelled him down towards the ground. It's one of my favorite things about what Bakugo's like, sort of the things that he can do with his quirk. He can literally like, he can move around in the air with his by using momentum from his explosions to move around in the air, which I really like, which is something that Deku can't do. And I really like that. So that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, everything from Bakugo in this episode was absolutely crazy. I absolutely loved it. All of it was amazing. It's nice seeing Bakugo sort of get himself away from the sort of the like abrasive nature, and when he actually allows like himself to actually be like, have some deep emotion sort of come out of him, so I like that. And yeah, with Deku as well, it's like, I have said this before. I think it was actually like a season ago, when they were facing off with All Might. Is like, as much as Deku looked up to All Might, he also looked up to Bakugo as well, and like Bakugo is actually one of his sort of inspirations. You know what I mean? That's the reason why he was always following Bakugo for, because he admired him so much. So, I love the fact that like they're now on that level playing field. It's very similar actually to the All Might fight in some regards, because when they were fighting All Might, there was the whole thing of Deku admires him too much, and Bakugo like, thinks he's on a level that he's not. So, that completely like out of balance. And it's the same thing with this episode, with Bakugo thinking Deku's beneath him, and then Deku like looking up to him. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So, last season, you know what I mean, that they had the whole thing with Deku maybe not looking so much up to him, but yeah, with this episode, that again, it's a level playing field. So yeah, it's all good. It's great. It's great. Is there anything else I really need to say? I don't know. I don't want to miss anything. That's the problem. That's the fucking annoying thing, because I know that I fucking know I'll miss something. Yeah, when All Might bloody stopped Eraserhead, the first thing I thought, like, I didn't know who it was, because his silhouette was blacked out. It wasn't white. I did notice the fact that obviously All Might has a bandage on his hand, but I thought that because it was obviously blacked out the first time you saw it, I was like, is that a glove? What is that? So yeah, really cool episode. I absolutely love that episode. But it's a like Bakugo episode. Of course I'm gonna love it. It's awesome. So yeah, awesome. That we're at a point now. It's like, the character dynamics are different now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes from there. And also the fact that Deku has he's able to do an 8% now. I don't know how he understands that. Like, how does he measure how much percentage of his power he can use? Clearly, you can do it down to the percentage. Like, 5% is one thing, but 8%? I don't know how long we've had since that, though. since the internship arc. I don't know how long we've had since that, because then that kind of gives you a... Because if you go by, like, what, you know, All Might said in, like, when Bakugo and Deku fought against All Might, you know, basically the better you get, the slower the... So it's like kind of like a... It's like a difficulty curve, right? And like a video game or something, right? Generally, more often than not, the leveling up curve. How about that, right? So the higher level you get, the slower it takes for you to get to the next level, right? So if we're going to assume that like Deku has taken, I don't know, however long from the internship arc to get 3%, then, you know, you'd think it would take him longer over time to get that percentage up, you know? But I'm not sure how long it's been since the internship arc, so I can't really talk about which bullshit. But yeah, but that is all. So, thank you everyone for watching. I absolutely loved that episode, it was great. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One is the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things start. Also, if you want to come talk to me or the community, are free to come over as well. And Patreon. So, if you want early access to my videos, that means getting them a week early and actually getting more videos more frequently, then yeah, you want to get the early access tier, which is $5 a month. So, for that, you get access to 2 extra shows, or 2 extra episodes across all the shows I do on Patreon. So, Psychopath gets 4 episodes a week, Suzumiya Haruhi gets 4 episodes a week, Tokyo Ghoul gets 4 episodes a week, and Code Geass gets 4 episodes a week. So yeah, if you're clamoring for more reactions from me more frequently, that's where you want to go. $10 a month, that's the full length. So if you want to see my full unedited videos, reactions to videos, then full length's where you want to go. You'll get full length, obviously, this video, all of the shows I just mentioned, plus, you know, all the other My Hero episodes, Attack on Titan and Re:Zero. Everything I react to gets a full length, so if you want to see my full length reactions, then you can do that. Exclusive tier, that is the $15 a month. So for that, you get access to another show I'm currently reacting to, which is Parasite. So if you want to see that while it's airing, you can do there, or you can wait until it's finished, and then once I've, you know, finished reacting to it, it'll be uploaded to YouTube for the public. Also, all OVAs go into the exclusive tier, and when I start reacting to movies as well, that will, you know, My Hero, Academia 2 Heroes, when that comes out, I'll be reacting to that. That'll go into the exclusive tier as well. $50 a month, that is the elite tier. So for that, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go to the back of the list. I think there's about 7 in the backlog, shows that I need to get through, so it might take a while. But if you want to jump the queue and go to the very front, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. The only rules on those last 2 tiers are that the show must be 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that I've never seen before. And also, those last 2 tiers are, like, you know, it's a cumulative. So with my Patreon being set up on a pay monthly basis, if you pay, like, you know, first month $100, you get your show on the list. If you pay $100 again, like the next month, you get another choice, and every time you pay, you get another choice. Yeah. So that was all. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.